Let's begin. We'll start seated, connecting to our breath, growing tall. Bi-directional way, reaching down through the ground. Reaching up through. So take a moment to feel that arrangement, how body moves in those directions. Maybe you feel a wholly other set of directional movements in your body. This is one of those intentional breath feeling correlations that does develop like a skill. Meaning, the more we intentionally feel and move together in some direction, the more likely our intention will lead us to sensing and to movement. There is a degree of skill building. If you don't feel it today, just keep playing with the skill. It does snowball. And we'll go with one other set of movements. That's the movement toward the horizon and away from the horizon. Suggesting a kind of lateral expansion. All directions, front, sides, back. And then receding from the horizon. It's almost like a calisthenics of mind and intentionality. Stretching our intention to listen and to feel in all of these directions. And if we encounter a tight spot, a missing range, that's wonderful because then we can address it, give it reps and practice and time. And the value of knowing this is just like any physical capacity. If we, for prolonged periods of time, leave out a certain, say, range of motion, a range of perspective taking, we'll tend to develop little blind spots. So for pranayama today, we're going to go with Shitali. So this is inhaling over the surface of the tongue, curled, and then exhaling out the nose. So if you shape your tongue like a horseshoe, In right through that channel, out through the nose. And if you can't quite shape your tongue into a horseshoe, just stick it out and let the lips start to kind of push it. You'll get a little shape, you'll get a little dish to work with. Notice we are breathing through the mouth. We're shaping the mouth differently. Here, the shape of the mouth and the tongue are, maybe they're behaving like that restrictor valve that kind of reduces the flow of air, slowing our breath cadence. Right. Gives us some moments to settle in. Let's straighten our left leg, bending right knee. Be holding into this Mariachasana. Just depending on your foot placement, your leg length, your right sit bone might be on the ground, off the ground. But as you're inhaling, feel how trunk can grow lengthily. Use the reach of the right arm to encourage that lengthening, and then exhale the right arm around the right shin. Either hooking your fingertips around the thigh into another set of fingertips. And then feel how the leg and the arm are drawing the shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade, off to the right. And guide your breath onto the right shoulder blade. As you same time relax the base of the skull away from your right shoulder blade. This is a good time to feel the expansion of your breath back into the back of your body. And with each wave of release, notice how that right arm can move into the shin, lengthening that trap further. And we'll release. And we'll simply switch sides. We'll get to that other shoulder blade. Right leg straightened. Left leg bent. Inhaling for expansion, for length, reaching. Exhale, left arm. I'm not just trying to fling the arm around just to grab something. Trying to stretch all those tissues. It's the lat, it's that thoracolumbar, it's that all that webbing on the left side of the ribs and the back. I'm stretching that arm as I'm wringing it around the shin. You can get a pretty decent stretching the canvas and letting your breath help relax the canvas. Use these textile analogies because I think it's really valuable to kind of spread our mind, shape of our mind, out in these broad expanses of planes. Sometimes we pick up little dots of noticing points, lines, planes. Like, it's a little bit of kind of the mathematical mind, being able to move through the terrain that leads us to having a more spatial sense of our person. And that sense of space delivers entirely different spiritual experiences. Something really valuable to the way we spread and stretch our mind over and through our body. My belief, my hypothesis. Release hands, inhale, we'll come upright. We'll set up for dolphin. Now, that broadening through the shoulder blades and the upper back, let's repeat that. So as if we were still kind of wrapping those arms around our shins, Mariachasana. But I almost call these shins, but our forearms are on the ground. You feel that broadening. And exhale, we'll press the knees off the ground. Maybe you can feel how the ribs wanting to gather down on exhale. The shoulders, the arms continuing to press. You're going to find little new ways of supporting as those ribs keep moving in flux. Expansion, receding. To get those ribs to move dynamically under those shoulder blades. Can you feel that layered movement? There's more interior movements and there's more peripheral movements. All right, let's take left leg. Let's reach it back. Just a nice way to start to open up the legs, torso. Starting to feel that leg limb. Spreading the foot bones and continuing to feel that dynamic expansion, that flux of the ribs under the shoulder blades. And as you intend to stretch or reach or feel all the way into the left leg limb, notice how the whole body gets a little more buoyant. Shoulders get lighter. All right, ready to switch sides? We'll set that left foot down. Here goes the right side. Short and sweet. Inhaling, we'll pick that leg, limb up. And so here, I'm asking you to spread your feeling awareness through the shoulders all the way to the right foot. How do we feel in such large, encompassing expanses of bodily terrain? I feel the foot and the shoulder blade same time, so that as I'm reaching, I'm feeling, noticing how light it can get on the shoulders. We'll set the right leg down. We'll set the knees down. And when we lie on our back, we'll use our object of squeeze, because the legs are going to get some, going to bloom the legs. Spring for the legs also. So object between inner legs, interlace hands behind head. Inhale into low back, sacrum. Just started to get into that fascia, the backside fascia. Squeeze the object with your legs. And exhale, start to reach up through the inner legs. The tailbone lifts, the head shoulder blades lift. Ooh, low belly down. And inhaling, let the head down. Some of those efforts, relax through the legs. This ends up being a little pulsation. Squeeze object, curl tailbone, exhale, head, shoulders lift up, reaching up through the inner legs. Allowing the head to relax in the hands. Cool, low belly down. Inhaling, letting the head down. Squeeze object. Curl tailbone. Exhale, head, shoulders lift. Cool, low belly down. Inhale, let's let the head down. Shall we continue? Let's do 4 or 5 more. Our pace, our own individual pace. We'll be doing them together. Remembering and getting accustomed to using those abdominals in your breathing behavior, in your breathing pattern. They connect to the lower ribs, to the backbones, the low back. Wrap around a little bit like an equator. Might help you feel the nature of that around the body movement. That's it. It's the only one I want to do today. Let's turn to a side and press into downward dog. That same wonderful feeling emphasis. How it is moved and discovered in the legs. Let that continue into this downward dog. In some ways, this downward dog is just a permutation of that abdominal a moment ago. Legs are vibrantly outstretched, reaching, inner legs involved. Sit bones and the spine lengthening, the hands and wrists feeling lighter as the weight, your weight transfers back and back, getting deeper into those low abdominals with the next 2 exhales. Same abdominal recruitment, that gathering, the sinking, lengthening the low back joints. There's so much we can do for our spine, our low spine, in breathing mechanics, learning how to breathe with these low belly muscles, and weight shift. Letting our weight transfer back. Inhaling, step any foot forward for a wide, symmetric stance. In other words, face any way you want to face. We'll come into a horse stance. Twisting horse. With the palms on the thighs, inhale. Exhale, let's press the right hand into the right thigh. Not just the head turning left, it's feel the sternum, the chest, the ribs, spine spiraling to the left. Inhaling, unwind. Into the abdominal, into the low back area. As I unwind, exhale. We'll spiral to our right. The left hand presses, sternum, the chest spiral, the ribs turn, the spine gets a little spiraling ring. Inhale, come back to center, straighten legs. And we'll make our right foot, the front foot, in a warrior two stance. So if you need to change your orientation on your mat, go right ahead. Need a little prop. Right leg bent. Left leg straightened, warrior two. We're going to relax the arms down. We'll move through this, the upper back. Inhaling, arms relaxed, spreading the back side of the body. Raise the shoulders, gather them, exhaling, squeeze them, drag them, draw them down, down. Releasing squeeze. You know how we'll go 2 more breaths. Do that, inhale. Middle parts of blades. Keep a little shift in the tailbone. So the squeeze of the blades doesn't necessarily mean a letting loose of the belly, like a protrusion of the belly. Get the bottom tips. Inhaling, reaching arms out to the side, turn the palms up. We're going to move through some kite hop. Exhale, and turn the biceps down, the thumbs down. If your neck goes along with it, you can go chin toward chest. Inhaling is the up move or the rotating the thumb toward the space behind us. Exhaling, broadening the back side of the body, almost like rolling it up like a scroll. Do a couple more. As we start to free up the tissues of the back through the spine, maybe start to notice that play of the pelvis around the thigh bones. Just by rotating the arms and pulling and like scrolling and rolling up that tissue, can you feel how that plays through the pelvis and hip sockets? There's a very interesting correlation, I'll just say correlation, a high degree of correlation between how the hips tend to open this way or that way, and the way the eyes will tend to move or deviate, either adduct or abduct, like move out or move in. There's some interesting, so hips might be eye movements too, but this whole system, it's all linked. I just want to indulge in feeling all that linkage. Right, inhale, reaching arms out to the side, interlock warrior. Exhale, we'll take the right armpit next to the thigh. The left hand, spiral that arm, and then reach back. Release. Inhaling, let's let the hands down. And as we exhale, step back, place both knees down. We're setting up the dolphin move with a left palm on the ground. Flash breath. Oop. Is that the way? Yes, let's do it that way. So right forearm down, left palm down. Exhale, the knees off the ground. Now sending that left elbow toward the back edge of the mat. Exposes, moves that left shoulder blade. Release. Set the knees down. Inhale, place both hands under shoulders. And then exhale, downward dog. All right, shall we on the other side? Inhale, your left foot forward. So your left leg, the front leg in a warrior two. Start with the shoulder blades. Relax the arms down. Inhaling into the upper back. And raise the shoulders, gather them at the top. Exhaling is the squeeze, the drag, the pull. Just, it's like kneading, it's like massaging. Right? As we go into the body's substance, the muscles and the tissues, as we kind of work with them, knead them, they start to change their qualities. Inhaling. Two more areas, back of heart, bottom tips of blades. Exhale, gather, massagingly, squeezing, kneading, moving the blades down. It's good. Let these areas grow warmer. The qualities of tissue change and soften with thermal changes. And the bottom tips. I'm riding solo here a little bit. And that change of kind of malleability means water moves through the body differently. Information, chemistry. Inhale, reaching the arms out to the side. Turn the palms face up, kite hawk. Exhale. We'll turn the thumb down, bicep down. If it's agreeable on the neck, you can go chin down. We'll do a few of them. You can start to feel the whole spine. Just kind of roll it down with the arms, with the neck, you might start to feel that. Hips, possible. Couple more. Inhaling is this wonderful up move, biceps up, palms up. Exhaling is the down move. All right, interlock. Ready for it? Exhaling. Bring the left armpit next to the thigh. Here I do that little kite hawk movement of the right arm. I roll the bicep down. And I'm letting that canvas get stretched. Then letting the breath help interact with the canvas. There's a little subtle I'm suggesting that there's a difference between using our brain, our decision maker, to move our tissues, to pull the tissues, compared to kind of wind them out, draw them out, explore them, expand them, and then breath as movement interacts with those tissues. I'm suggesting those two approaches will yield vastly different feeling experiences. Release hands. Inhale, we'll set the hands down. Exhaling, we'll step back. We'll set up this flash prep on this side. You put the left forearm down, the right palm down. And on exhale, press the knees off the ground. Oh, 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 oh. And I plant that right palm widely enough so that as I push the ground, say laterally to the right, my left shoulder in kind pulls the ground to the left. Therefore, I can broaden my left shoulder blade away from my neck. I am using a pulling action, pulling apart, pulling back. So it can get lighter and lighter on the left shoulder. My right hand is placed well. Set the knees down. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhaling, downward dog. What shows up on right side. Bringing widely through the ribs, the armpits, the sides of the body. All right, triangle, here we come. Inhale, right foot forward. Triangle, straightening the legs. Straight leg toes. I like to engage the quads, the legs strongly. Now, reaching through that right arm, right side ribs. And there's a lot of value, restructuring value, kind of gathering the right heel toward the sit bone, where the muscles connect to the bone of the pelvis. And by gathering and gathering and holding, it won't feel necessarily like a stretch or pulling the tissues. But when we gather very strongly, and we're breathing, and we're letting time be time, there's an extraordinary opportunity for restructuring in these big muscle engines. Plus, we lessen the degree of stretch or overstretch. That could be a really good thing. Let's bend the right knee. Inhale. We'll step the left foot next to the right foot. So in this next move, we're getting into a partial half Pashasana. I hope I said that right. I'll be turning to my left, but first, I'm nudging my right elbow into my inner right thigh. I'm bypassing the interlock for now. Yeah. As my chest turns to the left, reach my left hand behind back. Maybe grab thigh. Okay. So I'm doing half Pashasana without the interlock. My right elbow nudges my inner right thigh. I'll look. My left hand is reaching behind back. That we'll call step 1. Now, step 2, if you really want to, you can straighten the legs a little bit. Keeping that elbow nudge on the thigh will be we did a bunch of twisty things this weekend. But if you need shitali, remember there's that wonderful breath over the tongue to help us kind of remain with the breath, kind of adjusting the thermal component of our body, nervous system. And release. Inhale, we'll unwind. And when we set the hands and knees down, we're going to set up Ekapada. So, I'm using a block for my right foot. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said Ekapada because I'm putting my left forearm on the ground. This gives it a different name. So another iteration of flash prep. But if you're already committed to another pose, go for it, create. I'm doing a flash prep. Right foot on block, left forearm on ground. Now, if you wanted to raise your left foot up, that's totally up to you. I'm just going to stick with something really stable. I can practice lengthening the sit bones away from the head. Release. I'm going to step off these objects and press back, downward dog. All right, triangle. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhaling, we'll reach the left arm, the left ribs forward. Involve the legs. Almost play a little bit as if pulling the left heel toward the sit bone and gathering. If that feels like a flickering area, it can be. It can be a flickering muscular area, especially if you've had pulls or tears in the hamstring. If that is you, you're just really flexible. Exerting that gathering, almost, I won't say control, but there is a degree of like intelligent holding, a mind muscle. It can be a wonderful mapping skill, and it can be a wonderful tissue healing skill and a reorganization practice. We'll release by bending, stepping the right foot next to the left foot. So we're just going to wedge that left elbow into the left thigh. Half Pashasana, no inner lock. Make sense? I mean, just wave at me if it's for making pretzels out of brains instead of bodies. So left elbow just gets a little nudge. I'm taking the right hand behind back. This allows me a little bit of freedom to reach the left elbow toward the ankle, to lift the right elbow to the sky. If I interlock, some of that intentionality gets a little truncated. There you go, that's it. And of course, just like all the Pashasana would do, the inner legs matter. Straighten the inner legs a bit. A moment to feel the neck relax, to feel that rotation. And the rotation is about medicine. It's medicine for the spine. If you're just cranking like, when does this, isn't about self-flagellating with poses. It's about like, how does the movement and the breath together, how is it a medicine? How is this good? And inhaling, unwind. So flash prep, I'm putting the left foot on a block. Right forearm on the ground. Left side. Right side. And today I'm just pressing the right knee off the ground. Think sit bones traject back. Sit bones project back. So playing with that, lengthening through the sit bones, lengthening through the tailbone. Press through the arms, get lighter in the arms. This carry over into so many poses. This principle of lengthen, don't just ball up in our guts and collapse. All right, let's release and we'll step back into downward dog. All right, set your knees down. I want to just show you just something I've been playing with. Like a hybrid move. I'll call it half a fish. So the reasoning behind it, what I'm trying to get out of it for us all, is taking this propping arm motion and letting it gradually translate into a chest opener. It's like stationary arm, ribs turn around the arm. So that's the principle or the dynamic going on. I'll use the ground. We can all do side lying, you don't need any. But I have my elbow under my shoulder. Using my left foot as a guide system. Pulling my left elbow back. So half fish, because if you're familiar with that fish pose, feel wonderful. It's actually a wonderful back bend and chest opener like so. But I want to get half of it at a time. I just think it's easy and accessible. So I'm starting with the right side because it's the ground. With the reach of my left arm and the steadiness of my left foot, I'm letting my chest open, 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 open. I'm just going to take a few deep breaths on each side. And I'll just talk through the same stuff again. So just help yourself in, explore. It's a new pose, I know. So just explore a little bit. The principle is the right arm is stationary on the ground, or turning the ribs around the arm. Using my left foot to just base out, to just create a foundation. I'm arching my chest up to the sky and away from my right hand. You can reach, you can post up with that left hand. Use that left hand however you want. We'll release. We'll trade sides. Why we're doing half of a fish instead of a whole fish. So that we can focus on one shoulder at a time. On the other side, I've got my left elbow, and this is key, underneath the shoulder. My right foot will base out, and it's like I'm taking my left chest and making it look up at the sky. And I'm just going to the place where I stretch the canvas. I breathe into the canvas. The breath kind of interact. The idea here is to keep pushing with that left arm. We don't plunge down or collapse in the shoulder joint. And release. All right, that's a wrap. So let's lie back for Shavasana. So when you set the arms out, you can walk them out, wiggle them out. The blades get a little scooch out. This way we're kind of drawing the mass of the arm limbs away from the neck. I think we just played a good amount through these arm lines, the structure of the chest, respiratory, heart, arms, hands, neck. When we started, we just spread our breath in some very basic directions. Just spread our breath from tailbone to crown. Compassing and touching the most of our lower body, mid body, upper body. Let our breath spread our feeling awareness out to the horizon, back from the horizon. Notice how your sensing is shifted all around your body, throughout your body. When you're ready, we'll bend knees. Turn to a side. Use both hands to press to seat. Namaste.